Andres Cantor is an absolute legend in the broadcasting industry. He has won 7 Emmys, and he's a Telemundo Deportes commentator right now here in Vegas with us, joining us, making his morning footy debut, or afternoon footy debut, I should say. At long last, it is so lovely to see you. Thank you for taking the time, Andres.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here with you. Where did Alexi go? Alexis?
Yeah, he disappeared.
He needed a snack. We have to feed him like every 10 minutes just to keep his energy up.
He needed some coffee.
Bring it for everyone?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Andres, how much convincing did it take from Nico to get you to appear on our show here today?
A lot. We've been working on it for a while, but he's good at convincing me about many other things. So here I am. I'm very, very glad to be here. You know, we have the big games here. We have the FIFA Women's World Cup coming up this summer on Telemundo and Peacock. So I'm like here on a parade of everything.
You're a busy guy. You're a very busy guy. I have to ask, though, before we dive into the matches, what are your thoughts on our show that we have, especially what your son Nico has been doing?
I said this and I sent DMs to all the crew. You guys do a wonderful work. Nothing like having a phone on the thing, right? Live ringing on your live show. You're doing a wonderful job.
Oh,
yeah,
coming from you.
No, honestly.
That means everything.
I text Nico all the time. I texted Kate on the Champions League show. I mean, I feel like Big Mix here. Hey, let's go.
Now, his criticism is the toughest to swallow. When I
can't imagine.
Out of college, when I started working at the radio network at Fútbol de Primera, and we were doing the daily show, there was things that I would say, and then he would look at me. He would give me that look, you know, and I was like, oh no.
Why are you taller than me suddenly?
But Andy, we've heard about some things that your wife says to Nico about what he says on the show, in terms of some words are a little bit too drastic or a little too, what was the word that
I used mediocre. I used mediocre the other day. Mommy didn't like it.
No?
No.
What kind of criticism do you have for him there?
The thing is that Lily, my wife, watches morning footy every single morning. And then, you know, I wake up, it's at 9 o'clock, you guys are all done. So you haven't watched a minute. So it's 9 o'clock. I can, you know, watch the clips, and I'm not going to wake up every single morning just to watch you guys, honestly.
The reruns start at 9 a.m.
That's when my mom watches it, to be fair. She catches the re-airs.
But Lily watches religion. She puts on the alarm clock, and at 7 a.m., she's watching. And then I'm in bed, 7:05. Did you see what happens? What? I'll find out later.
Amazing. Well, you are no stranger to this rivalry between the United States and Mexico. We have the big semifinal in Nations League coming up in a couple days, or actually tomorrow. What are some of your favorite memories of this rivalry? Maybe some of the matches that you've called between these two sides.
Well, it has evolved, Susana, into one of the biggest rivalries in world football, I would say. You know, teams don't like each other, right?
That's a fact.
Right?
Big facts.
That's a fact.
We know.
And the fact is that, you know, the U.S. has the upper hand on Mexico lately. And Mexico is in, I wouldn't say dire straits, but they have to win this game tomorrow. They have to win this game tomorrow. But I believe the U.S. prepared better. They had all the guys in camp way before Mexico did. Mexico just received the European-based players last Sunday in San Diego. So they're going to have, you know, 2-3 trainings on them before, you know, getting onto the field. And I think the U.S., just by the fact that, you know, they put out the best roster for Nations League in comparison to the roster that they're fielding for Gold Cup, I think they won this tournament more than anything.
Oh, you got that right. I know you've seen a number of these matchups. What's one that sticks out in your mind is that was a great match of football?
Who was that guy that scored at Azteca? The live called in the altitude, and it was such a momentous goal that I almost like fainted because I had no more oxygen.
I'll tell you right now, that's one of the biggest honors I've had in my career.
That was one of
giving one of the most epic goal calls of all time, and I've always dreamed of having a goal call like that from you.
Right.
Your voice is synonymous with Telemundo and Univision and just any Spanish-speaking language. Everyone talks about you being the voice, and to hear you call that goal in my biggest game as a U.S. men's national team player was a tremendous honor. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, that was a big game. The 0-0.
Here it is.
No, that's not it.
This isn't it?
That's a Gold Cup goal. Come on now. That's Granada. That's a nice stanky leg.
But you did the stanky
that's
leg
not
in
the
Azteca
one.
too, didn't you?
That's not the one.
But you know, I always say this, Charlie, and I see these clips from way back then, from you know the time you played, and even before. It was because of you guys, Alexi, Marcelo, Hugo Perez, Tab Ramos, Clint, everyone that played in the glorious days of post 1994 that the U.S. soccer is what it is today. It is because of you guys. I know it's easy for the millennials today to turn on Morning Foodie and see 4 or 5 anchors talking about football for 2 hours every day. But if it wouldn't have been for these guys, none of this would have happened.
Wow.
I'm 100% sure.
Do you think Diego Coca, if he doesn't win this game against the U.S., that this might be the end of Diego Coca as manager? And that short, because we know the pressure to win,
Yes.
and he hasn't been all that convincing up until this point.
It is crazy to think that they're going to fire a coach, 5 games in. But if they lose tonight and they don't have a good Gold Cup, I mean, a good Gold Cup for Mexico.
Tomorrow,
winning it.
not tonight.
Tomorrow, I'm sorry. Yeah. If
Long
they don't
flight.
win, tell me about it. If they don't win tomorrow and they do not have a good Gold Cup, meaning at least reaching the final, I don't think he will survive.
Yeah.
No, I don't. He's under a lot of pressure. The way he came into the Mexican national team wasn't really that clear, and I don't think it was super unanimous. So we'll see.
New
But
administration at the Mexican Football Federation.
Yes.
Also. They didn't hire him.
no, they didn't, and they're shifting things around. So, I mean, we have to wait and see. And then what happens if he does win? Does he
Right.
stay?
Right.
If he beats
That
the
was like
US?
Berhalter. Berhalter got so much breathing room after he beat Mexico in Concacaf Nations League. Remember everyone
Yeah.
was talking
It
about
went right back to back. He beat in Mexico.
It was-
in the
yes,
Gold
it
Cup.
was.
Gold Cup, and then
Nations
League
no
and
one
trophies.
questioned Berhalter after that.
No,
No.
you can't. You win 2 trophies against
Sure.
your biggest rival.
Well, the same thing could happen to Diego Coca. He's under a lot of pressure for tomorrow, especially for tomorrow, which is a semifinal. Third place will not be good enough for Mexico. So we will see, how he handles the pressure in the case he loses. If he wins, pressure is relieved. He has a much better team in Gold Cup than the U.S. does. He will be expected to win the Gold Cup. I'm sure that, just reaching the final won't be good enough. So we will see.
Well, we will see. Andres, I don't know if you've heard, but Lionel Messi is coming to Major League Soccer and Inter Miami. I'm dying to get your thoughts on this move and how big it is for not only Major League Soccer, but just the sport in North America. What are your thoughts?
It's a game changer for MLS. No question about it. I mean, everyone's going to be watching MLS now. I have given so many interviews since Messi's announcement, both in Argentina and Europe and South America, because they associate that I live in Miami and I know everything about Inter Miami and about the city and where he's gonna live and what he's gonna eat.
He's gonna eat asado.
Yeah, most likely. But worldwide, there's a great ignorance
About Flanagan's.
about the business aspect of all of this. Nobody knew that Apple TV has the worldwide television rights for the next 10 years. So they were asking me, so how can I start watching Messi? Well, you're going to have to subscribe to Apple TV. So the exposure, just by having just one outlet which has a worldwide reach around the world, it's going to be great for MLS. It's going to bump it up to the next level. You've seen what happened here with, the tickets being sold out in all his away games already post-July or whenever.
Do you have season
whenever
tickets?
No, I do not have season tickets. I hope I can get a ticket.
Hey,
to go
Inter
see
Miami, you got to hook up the Hall of Fame with some
But you
season
know what
tickets.
I'm saying? Charlie, I think Chris Henderson and Jorge Mas right now are taking the most intense engineering, tactical job there is, because he cannot do this alone.
No.
And yet they have to get rid of 2 DPs. They have the GAM, the general allocation money. They have to figure out how to build a team probably for next year. But they have,
You got to
Messi
start
cannot
moving the pieces
right
now.
Messi cannot come to a last place, dead last
No.
team. It's
Yeah.
Messi.
No, I keep saying it. The onus is on the
my
team,
gosh.
the league, to kind of
Everyone.
raise their level to meet Lionel Messi. But it is a thrill. I still can't really.
I can't
Still can't believe it.
Until he's wearing the Inter Miami jersey, I won't.
He's going to look really good in pink.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. We have a chance to see Lionel Messi on Galazo Network tomorrow, correct? Argentina taking on Australia. That game right here on our very own Galazo network at 10 a.m. And our morning footy crew will be doing pre and post game coverage for that. So you don't want to miss it. Are you going to wake up nice and early to watch this?
4:55 a.m.
a
alarm
lot.
here in
Well,
Vegas.
that's typically when we get up.
Nothing that I haven't done in the last 3 months.
That's
Correct.
easy.
Then to watch Messi on Golazo Network,
Ooh,
forget about it.
I know, that's very
I'm watching.
tasty.
I'm watching.
Andres will be
Nice, so
watching.
Mondays I'll go over to your hotel. We'll watch
All right.
together.
All right.
I was teasing Nico this morning. I said, "Where is your mate?
Yeah.
How are you
Did you
going to
bring my
possibly
mate?
do this show?
You have
Did
it
you bring
here?
it for him?"
I brought your yerba.
Yerba, you have it here?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You got my yerba?
Yeah, that
What
was
a good
That was
dad.
gonna be a
Great
tough
dad.
couple of days.
I'm his mate fixer here.
I'm just saying that all I just noticed is that he said that he doesn't wake up for morning footy, but he's going to wake up for Messi. And he gave...
No. Wait. Let me
That's what I
correct that
heard.
because I already have probably a WhatsApp from Lily. Whenever I wake up, of course I watch you guys, of course. But then if I have to sleep in because I had a long night or whatever, I'll just watch the rerun. And then you guys do a great job on social
He
media.
watches us at the gym.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's a
Have you had? Is
wonderful
there
place
one
to watch.
episode that stands out in your mind? Your favorite that you've seen
You're
so far?
putting me on the spot.
I am.
From Morning Footy?
Yeah.
Probably the very first one. I was very proud of.
Is that?
of
Did
Nico.
you do the goal call
On the first
on the first
day?
one?
Yes.
Was that on the first
Was that
day?
the first day?
Did we play that game?
Oh, that's been so
yes, we
long.
did. It was our
Yes,
first.
And he had like 200 push-ups. yeah. See, I
I've
watched.
been in the gym. You know.
It was impressive on all accounts. How do you think he did on his goal
He
call?
does great. He does great.
I learned from the best.
Obviously.
I
How
learned
do you
from the best.
how did you learn to do that, Andres? How do you hold it for that long? Because I'm a trained singer, and so I know about breath control and how to do it. But it is a long time.
and,
You know,
and
that
the
you hold it.
creativity around it. How did that come to be?
It's all spontaneous, really. You have to let it go with emotions. And I've taken right before the World Cups. I always take singing lessons with, my
Get that.
teacher. But then everything that she says, I hope she's not watching. When Argentina is playing France and you're up 2-0 and they tie 2-2 and then you score the 3-2, do you think I'm going to remember? Yeah, you have to push here, do this, do that. It all has to do with emotions.
But at this
And
point, it's muscle memory for you. You have to know where that's coming from, and then especially your call for Argentina to win the World Cup. That was like tears. The emotion that you get from listening to that was pure emotion, like you're mentioning, and it is like a muscle memory thing. You're not thinking about anything else.
It is muscle memory. Sometimes I have, I don't have anything in me. Sometimes it's, especially if it's a long game and, a very intense game. I remember the Landon Donovan goal in South Africa. It was like back and forth. I was calling on radio on Fútbol de Primera, and I was just exhausted. And then I see this counterattack, and honestly, I gave it my all. I don't know where it came from because I had nothing left in the tank. And then at the end, I had Marcelo Balboa and Bora Milutinovic as my commentators. I went like this because I needed them to talk because I was like really like fainting. But it just pure raw emotions.
It's incredible. Can we get a side by side of father and son goal calls?
A goal off?
A goal off between father and son.
Goal off?
Are we allowed
Goal
to do
off.
that on
Let's
afternoon
see.
footy
Wait,
today?
I need to know who you think. I know I'm off subject here, but who do you think is going to win? Can the U.S. women's national team, Jenny, three-peat?
Yes.
Can they win?
Yes.
Yes.
Will they? I don't know.
I say they win.
Now I want to put you on the spot. You're going to watch on
I
Telemundo
say-
and Peacock, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Every morning.
U.S. women's national team win.
Right. Okay.
They do it.
All right.
Yeah.
And
What do you
hopefully
think? No, Andres, you're doing all your prep for the World Cup. What do you think?
it's going to be tough.
It is.
But they're going to
Who's
get
it going
there.
to come down to?
England, even though they have a couple of injuries, they're going to get. I think they're going to have a good World Cup. We will see. I think the U.S.-Netherlands match will decide first place, and then the route where the U.S. women's national team will go. But I have faith that I will be as happy and emotional on August 20th for the women's final.
As you were on December 19th, 2022? 18th?
No,
Oh,
not as much.
he got you back.
Not as much, but it will be a momentous moment. I was very, very upbeat when Carly scored that, hat trick in Canada. That 55-year-old, I was going to say, 55-yard shot from midfield. That was
That's incredible.
I told her many times
Unbelievable.
every time I see her that regardless of gender, that is the greatest, one of the greatest World Cup final goals
Ever.
in the history of the game.
What a performance in that match. Oh, my goodness.
Are we gonna do are we gonna do a goal?
All right, let's do it.
Goal.
Oh my gosh.
You know
What's
who
happening?
I'm going with. You know who I'm going with. I know who's going to win this battle.
Where are we
No,
looking?
he's gonna win.
No
Yeah, which
chance.
camera?
Yeah, he's gonna win.
Which camera should they do it
This
to?
is tough.
Right there.
Oh, there he is, right there,
Over
right
right
there.
Right here.
That
Okay.
ISO, right there.
Who's gonna count us
I'll
off?
count you in. Okay, I'll do a 3, 2, 1, go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Nico's starting to feel it.
His face is
He's feeling the
red.
pressure. Andres is good. Look at him.
Oh, the legend! The legend!
Bravo,
He still
Papa.
got it, always.
Papa. Oh, Nico.
Oh man! I let him
He
win.
just
I
got
didn't.
sunned.
I didn't want to make him look bad.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
got
right.
sunned.
I was nervous.
He was getting a little red.
Yeah, I was nervous. I was
Oh,
nervous.
man.
Good job. I don't like losing to my
Hey,
dad.
Papa Cantor
Andres.
says,
Yeah.
Dude,
That's not fun.
sit down.
That could go on forever.
Anders, such a pleasure to have you at
Thank
the
you.
desk. Thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you for gifting us your son. We love working with him every
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.